Hey guys, God bless. Welcome back to my channel. I am Charlene. Welcome to Twist and Shout. I wanted to do this video. At first, I thought I was gonna make a really short version of this particular video. It's just a clean with me, a day in my life of me cleaning and taking care of my children and, just showing you guys what it's like on a regular basis, which I plan on doing so still. But I also want to take this moment to have a heart-to-heart, to be really transparent. As you can see, my house is a mess. It's a cross between trying to take care and entertain a 3-year-old, trying to nurture and take care a new baby, and also trying to have space and opportunity for myself, all in one picture, as you can see. And this is on a regular basis. This is also something that has become my reality for the past 3 years now. Same situation, just a different baby. Like, this all started with Jace. Like, after that pregnancy, I just could not go back to work. It made more sense for me to be home. And I want to give a realistic idea of the stay-at-home mom. For those who may be interested, for those who may have, you're going to be in this position regardless because that's what's best for your family, or those who may think less than of the stay-at-home mom is what I want to address today. It has been record that a stay-at-home mom is equivalent to 2.5 jobs. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I was working my one job was enough. It was tiring. It was frustrating. It was overwhelming at times. It took a toll on me. And guess what? My job for the past 10 years was me sitting at the desk answering phone calls. But I guess it matters what type of phone calls, right? I used to do Comcast, cable phone and internet. You guys can even imagine how that goes. People in electronics don't mix. So it was interesting. Then I went into taking phone calls for AAA Carolinas, which is roadside assistance. And you can imagine that. That was the job that I was working when I was pregnant with Jace. And for a moment, it seems like, okay, this is the norm, right? Like, I got a good job taking care of Ariana. We had a schedule going on. I was taking care of her, doing things with that. Me and my husband was filling in and adjusting to this marriage life and blending our families. And then boom, I get pregnant. And not only did I get pregnant, but I get really sick. And I was extremely sick the entire pregnancy, and it affected my work. The blessing was I had been there for more than a year, so I had this thing that's called the FMLA, which is a certain amount of hours and time off that you can invest into while you're pregnant or after the fact. And in my case, unfortunately, I literally used up every drop of it during my pregnancy. That's how bad off I was. And when it came time for me to, have the cushion of not having to go back to work because of a new baby, I didn't have it. I had Jace on November 9th, 2018. My job requested me to return to work November the 11th because I didn't have time off anymore. And I had to make that decision of being wise and smart, saying, hey, I know my body needs time to adjust. The minimum is 6 weeks. The maximum can be 8 weeks or 10, depending on how your C-section go. And in my case, I literally needed every ounce of that time. So I had to call my job and say, hey, I can't return. Shortly after me and my husband discussing some things, we realized that with the cost of daycare and our budget, it just could not happen. It was not okay. So we made a decision for me to stay home. And here I am thinking I'm at the prime of my time. I'm young. I'm ready to jump back out there. I end up staying home. And what sounds like a dream come true, like, yay, you don't have to go to work no more. You get to stay home and take care of your baby. It didn't go so great. It definitely took a toll on me mentally because I was overwhelmed and frustrated because, when you set out so hard in your heart and your mind to do one thing, and my thing was, I'm now able to be sufficient. I'm now able to make my own money. Because mind you, through some very rocky turmoil and situations, I literally came out of my mom's house into my marriage. And yes, I was way grown, but the circumstances of life actually got me back to that point. So it was like starting over again. So I felt like the young, youthful 18-year-old Shar that got the job and a decent career and in a job that I can level up in and improve and have a family. And I have a 2-parent home now for my children. And it's just like, okay, I'm ready to go. And then it just like got snatched away, right? Like, don't take away your little independence. And for someone at that time, for me, it hurt. It hurt so much because it's like I waited my whole life to get to this point. And now I don't have that anymore. And now I have to live by means of one income, which is my husband. And that was hard because he took care of the bills. And then there was hardly anything else. So I had to learn how to maneuver, how to, budget money. And it was hard at first because I was horrible already. Let's be clear. I was horrible at budgeting money and saving money. But because I got paid weekly, I was accustomed to recovering. So I was always in recovery mode when it came to my finances and taking care of business. It's like, my check's gone, but I'm going to get paid next Friday. And even in the aspect of my husband, like even when it came down to, okay, well, he get paid bi-weekly, and once his check goes to the bills, it was understood that, if there was gas money or lunch money that was needed in between time, I would get paid every week. You start literally living check to check, and that was so unhealthy for us, especially with the size of family that we had that was steady growing. I now put all my energy into cleaning, organizing. One thing that I have a habit of with this OCD of mine is I rearrange and organize a lot of things, and I spend a lot of times putting things exactly the way they were just to have them removed again, because nobody else in the house has the same passion of organization as I do. For everyone else, it's about what's convenient, even if it's messy. So like leaving, for example, like my husband thinks leaving his medicine on the edge of the counter is best for him, then that's where he's going to continue to leave it. Whereas I can say, okay, I like it better when I put in this little bag. It's just a constant struggle and battle. And I just use him as an example, but this is with kids and everything else. And then there's the other side of me that when I start stressing and start being consumed by my problems, I tend to do the opposite. I tend to leave things undone, things open, things laid around. And it's kind of like a reflection of what's going on in my mind. Like it's messy. My mind is messy, filled with thoughts. And then my real world ends up looking the exact same way as you can see. So then I no longer become the person who says, okay, I use this bottle needs to go in the sink. Or I use this cup needs to go in the sink. Or I wore this, I'm not going to wear it no more. It needs to go into a dirty clothes hamper. Like it become a pattern after a while. And these are some nasty, bad habits that I have picked up, not directly, but as a means of making sure everybody else is straight. Like you got a 3-year-old, you got a newborn baby, you got a husband, you got a teenager. A lot of these needs that need to be met with them are like immediate in their eyes, even if they're not necessarily true. So you cater to that and you create that atmosphere like, okay, if you're hungry right now, mommy has to feed you right now. If your diaper needs changing right now, it just needs to be changed right now. So then whatever mommy was doing, whatever she was dealing with doesn't get addressed. You move on. And that's my norm. And after some time, as of today, I can honestly say and realize that I am extremely overwhelmed. I have a lot of things in my mind and my heart that they don't get addressed. They don't get talked about. And you just have to be the robot. You have to go about your day the same as yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before that. And you call it love, right? You say, I love my family and I want to take care of my family. But is it really love if you're damaging yourself to a point one day you just break down and you're just like, I don't know what I'm feeling, but I'm not feeling good. Or you might even experience depression. Then you're not really helping anyone, because uncured depression leads to a lot of other problems and issues, health issues, mental issues, suicidal thoughts, and people even attempting suicide. And it's like, yeah, you got to take care of yourself too. But in this situation, there's not much room left for taking care of yourself, right? It's all about the family and keeping the family together. And this is what doesn't get mentioned much. And this is probably why a lot of women are escaping this type of lifestyle. And obviously, I know me personally, my mindset is whatever works best for your household. I do have this thought and this mindset that if you have the means and the opportunity to be that in-home wife, to not think of it as less than or stepping down, but stepping up. It takes a lot to do this, a lot. This is not a cakewalk. This is not you just being home, twirling your fingers and kicking your feet up. No, you do have the extreme beauty of setting your own schedule. But other than that, your day is pretty much full. You have responsibilities from the time you open your eyes to the time you close them. You have duties that has to be done in a timely manner, just like you would if you was at a 9 to 5. You have to answer to someone just like you would at a 9 to 5. Like at your 9 to 5, you answer to your boss. When you're a stay-at-home mom, you naturally have to answer to the needs and demands of your children. That's just how it is. And that doesn't mean they run over you. That's not what I'm saying. But that just means that there's still order in the process that has to take place. And that includes you and everyone else. Oftentimes, I find myself getting stuck. Like I would just sit and be like, I need to catch my breath. I need to think. I need to figure out what's going on. Maybe I skipped a beat or I forgot something. And that always throws you for a loop, right? When you're a mom and you forget something important like an appointment, or you forgot to bring the eggs home, it's just like, oh, I need to be reprogrammed. I need to regroup. And it hurts sometimes. You take it personal, like, oh, I made a mistake. And this mistake isn't just, oh, Shar forgot the eggs. She forgot the baby milk, or she set the breast milk out all night. She forgot to put it in the refrigerator. It's like it creates a problem that affects others. So then you're upset. You're stressed out. You're beating yourself up. And you feel some type of way. Like you lose self-esteem because you feel like you're inadequate and that you did this, right? Like you caused this problem. You are the result of being irresponsible is what it comes down to. And you take it really personal and it really hurts. I can say right now, like there are some things and some moments I forgot, or I did some things that I'm like, oh, I should have known better. And you just continually replay that moment in your head and you stress out. And then you overanalyze every single other issue and circumstance. And you end up having that relationship with God where you realize and understand that you don't get to be uniform. You don't get to say my quiet time routine in this corner or in this nook or at this desk. Like you just immediately where you are, Lord, I'm sorry. Lord, help me. Lord, please give me peace, give me understanding, give me patience. Like, your quiet time becomes just time with God. Like you don't no longer get to the position of being picky and trying to be overly organized. You just, Lord, I thank you. You say that as you get up and put your robe on and put your footies on. Lord, forgive me for all my sins I committed throughout the day. You say that while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while the children are napping. Lord, forgive me for not being more patient and loving with my kids. Lord, give me strength to continue. Lord, please give us traveling mercies, and please cover the children in school. You say these things as you're driving to the bus stop. Like, you begin to take advantage of every single moment and then the moments in between. And a lot of these thoughts and prayers are in your mind, but that doesn't take away from the truth and the heart behind these prayers, because they're still genuine. They're still pure. They're still humble, because you're using what you got. And that's what God wants. He requires your whole heart and your whole humbleness in these situations. And boy, this will humble you when, you don't get to uniform your time with Jesus, right? Like, you just, God, my situation. This job never stops. It never ends. And I wholeheartedly still give you praise. I wholeheartedly still give you glory. I wholeheartedly just pour my heart out to you. I do these things, Lord God. And you learn to go from being frustrated and aggravated about it to being glad. Lord, I'm so glad I was able to talk to you while I was cooking this meal. I'm so glad I was able to talk to you while I'm cleaning a dirty diaper for the 10th time today. Like, you just learn to go with it. And you learn to have grace for yourself as you look over these things. You say, you know what? This is God's will. This is God's glory. Like, I'm doing what's best for my husband and my kids. And some may even argue, okay, what about yourself? But this is what it comes down to. I always often think about Jesus did what was necessary, and then God took care of the rest, right? Like, he preached and taught. People used to gather for all over, and they would be hungry and tired and weary. And he said, you know what? We got to feed them. And he trusts God to do that. And he did just that. And we have a record of that happening 2 times. And as my husband would say, that could have happened 4 or 5 times. We don't know. But Jesus always moved with compassion. He always like, oh, you know what? I know I did what I need to do. And now I'm concerned of the people and their other needs. Like, I gave them the spiritual food. What about naturally? And that's how it is with being a stay-at-home mom. Like, it's the opposite, right? Like, you say, okay, I physically have to take care of these kids. I have to make sure they eat, sleep, be active, exercise their mind, that they have the proper social skills and that they're developing. And then spiritually, I have to also be mindful that I still need to pray. I still need to fast. I still need to praise and worship. And you just incorporate that with your kids. Like, come on, you want to sing praise and worship songs? And oftentimes me and Jace, we play church, and he's the preacher and I'm the congregation. And you just count it all joy. Like, you don't look at these things as less than. Yes, sometimes the pile gets heavy and the load gets hard and burdensome, and sometimes the room look chaotic like it does right now, but you just trust and believe God that he will help you see it through. Like, he will give you the strength to keep doing this same routine that, yes, just like a regular job, you get tired of just doing the same thing over and over again. But for me, I just learned to look at it in a new perspective each time, or take advantage of, teaching my kids and giving them the example. Like, look, life gets messy. Things get dysfunctional and disorganized, but you pray and ask God for the strength to recover. You pray and ask God for the strength to keep going. And then he gives you just that. He gives you exactly what you need. Like, no matter how you're feeling in the moment, you may feel less than. You may even envy, like, oh, I wish I could go to work. I wish I could have my own money. I wish I had more money. But then in my case, you think about the time when you did, like, you didn't do right. You didn't do right. So now when you get $1 or $2 or $5 or 25 and 50, you use wisdom. Like, okay, what's needed for my home? What's needed for my family? Do I need gas in my car? Do I need to take a trip to the library and upload videos? Like, you just learn to be wiser and smarter with what God gives you, and you learn to be more appreciative and understand that God don't have to do anything. But he does bless, and he does know how to give gifts to his children. And we learn from him. We learn how to deal with our children and what's best for them. And as you can see, y'all, my desk is usually, it takes a hard hit between my desk and the living room, because I'm trying to juggle 2 YouTube channels. I'm trying to help my husband, create an atmosphere that's comfortable for him. So there's been a lot of organizing, a lot of redoing. Even so much so, I can be honest with you that by the time you see this video, I'm pretty sure things wouldn't, matter of fact, I know, because I'm sitting here, that things will not even look like this. But I wanted to talk to you guys over this type of video so you guys can actually get a visual of tasks and duties of me on a regular basis. And you would think, with Isabella being older even more than what she was in this particular video, because she used to sleep a lot more. Now she's not sleeping as much. And that means even less time to do what I got to do. Even less time to make sure I'm still sane, right? And you know that God gives grace, and you just appreciate that. Like, Lord, I thank you for your grace and mercy, because today I only had 5 minutes to pray, or I only have 5 minutes to sit down. And sometimes, you guys, I lie to you not, I can read one scripture, not on purpose, and then the baby cries. Jason's hungry. Husband's getting home. And then you have to shift your mind and shift your duties, and rightfully so, because one thing that I'm holding on to, that Jesus literally, he came to serve, you guys. Like, he washed his disciples' feet. So why in the world do we think we get to grumble and complain about taking care of our kids, our husband, taking care of ourselves, in a sense, like, your health and things of that nature? And don't get it wrong. I agree, at some point in time, there should be moments and times where you say, this is for me. But always remember that if Jesus came to serve, what more do you think we're supposed to do? And I wholeheartedly thank God that I get to serve my household. I get to serve you guys. And I'm so joyful and gladful about it, because I know God is getting glory. And I thank God for this opportunity. It's not all peaches and cream. It's not all the cakewalk. But I truly thank God for this position. I thank God for this season, however long it may last. You guys, when I had Jace and that whole situation happen, I thought, okay, after a little while, he's going to school and I'm going back to work. And then boom, Bella's here. And it's like, okay, God. But I just truly thank God for the opportunity to talk to you guys and take care of my home. And I've learned so much, and I've grown so much. And I love my family. And I love that I get to take care of them. And I love that I get to be a light and be salt to those who watch me and see me go through these cycles. And it's not all easy. That's all I can say. But I thank God. I still thank God. And I thank you guys for listening to me, even in this video, and watching me and getting a glimpse of my life now with the new baby. And I absolutely plan on doing more videos like this. So you guys stay tuned. It's a little scary at first. I didn't think I had 24 minutes of talk in me, but to God be the glory. I just truly thank God for that. And I just want you guys to continue to pray for me and support me by simply just watching me and talking to me and commenting and sharing and subscribing. I truly thank you guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys are so faithful and so loyal to even come with me on these different seasons and times of my life. And that's beautiful. And who knows what God has in store for me. And I love you guys. God bless. Take care. Bye.